In 1952, a highly toxic smog covered London, killing 4,000 people and injuring 100,000. Buses, trains, and events were cancelled. Schools were closed, hospitals were overrun, and the people of London had no idea what was going on. This event would go down as the deadliest smog incident in history. How do you survive a toxic smog that can kill you if you inhale it? But more importantly, how could this have happened? During the freezing winter of 1952, Londoners burned much more coal than usual to keep themselves warm. The increased burning of coal combined with electric power stations and smoke from vehicle exhausts led to 1,000 tons of smoke particles getting released into the air every day. To make matters worse, an anticyclone settled over London, which caused the smoke particles to be trapped near the ground. A fog mixed with the smoke particles created a deadly smog that would cost thousands of people their lives. At first, people didn't panic, as Londoners were used to a lot of fog, but this one was different. It was denser and longer lasting than the previous ones. People could only see a few meters, with some stating that it was like you were blind. It didn't take long for numerous car accidents, health emergencies, and fatalities to happen. It was a nightmare. After 5 days, the smog started to vanish.
Killer smog finally lifted over London.
In the following days, statistics estimated that it had killed 4,000 people. 2 months later, it was believed that it was 6,000 people. If you thought this was bad, it gets worse. The UK's top pollution expert at the time, E.T. Wilkins, constructed a chart of the data and discovered an additional 8,000 deaths between December 1952 and March 1953, bringing the total to 12,000 fatalities, with most of them being either very young or elderly. But was Wilkins correct? Research from 2004 confirmed that the 12,000 deaths Wilkins estimated were correct. Even months after the smog, many people died due to respiratory problems. Initial reports blamed those deaths on an influenza epidemic, but emerging evidence revealed that only a fraction of the deaths could have been from influenza. Many who were fetuses or infants at the time of the smog ended up having lower intelligence and worse respiratory health than their peers. Elsie Warner, an elderly resident, described the smog as a killer fog. She lost a neighbor and a close friend during the event. This incident led to the Clean Air Act in 1956 and many positive environmental changes to prevent something like this from ever happening again. The Great Smog is a reminder that when humanity pushes the boundaries of nature, nature pushes back.